Hello guys, let's talk about maintenance of our tanks. Well, in the last 2 nights we have gotten more than 14 inches of rain. As you can see on the ground and as you can see in my tank, it looks like a mole's been at it. But that's not the case. What happened is I've dug a hole down the side at the front of the tank where the glass is, and I've been bailing water. Cup by beautiful cup. I've probably bailed, 14 inches of water. When I first came out here, there was literally water at the top and on top of all of my, some of these were even floating. So, and I've had to do this before when you get excessive rain. It is normal, but it's an easy care. All you do is dig down the front side of your tank against the glass down to the bottom layer of mulch so that you're down where the water collection takes place. Then you just bail the water. Hopefully this happens at the beginning of your tank growth, like I was lucky enough that it happened for me. And then you bail it, and then you let it sit, and that hole will slowly fill back up in about 10 minutes. And we bail it some more, and we let it sit, and you keep bailing it until it doesn't bail water anymore. Then we'll stick a bunch of mulch down the front to help suck up any extra water that is left. It's easy, it's simple, it happens. It even happens in normal gardens. But with it being a fish tank, you have to make sure that you get involved and get your hands in there and get dirty and bail some of that extra water out. I know that can be a little intimidating to think about when the whole point of a tank is to make gardening easier. Well, it does when you don't get 14 plus inches of rain in 2 days. Nothing that can be done about it. As long as this isn't underneath of my roof like my other tank was, it's very easy for me to get all of this bailed out, because they're like the other tank, which I'll show you in a minute, what it looks like after 14 inches of rain. That's what this tank looked like. My anaerobic tank, I'm going to let it be. This one, I'm bailing out. And actually that anaerobic tank had more water in it than this did, because it was under the eaves. But I'll show you what we'll do in our next step. As you can see, the 14 inches of rain has actually given me a pool in my anaerobic tank. And that's what we're trying to prevent in the tomatoes. Alright, now that I've literally bailed 14 inches of rain out of this fish tank, as you can see, I ended up creating a big hole in between the plants to get down there. And then I bailed out the water, and then we're just going to layer it the same way we did when we first started the tank. Big old wad of paper, a bunch of wood chips, right back into the tank. Let's press them down in there. Get them down close to where the water was. Refill in the dirt. I can tell you right now, just the little bit of water bailing I did, I can already tell that the tank is drier. I'm also doing this over on my ginger tank. And now you can see I got a big chunk here. It's not going to hurt your tank or damage your tank or cause any problems to the growth of your plants. Now you're just going to have a great big sponge there that if you get a big old gust of, the whole outside of my tank's dirty now and a little hard to see from, I'm going to have to rewash it. But now you have a sponge in the tank that'll help soak up water and help draw the water to, like a wicking effect, draw the water there. So you're not going to have to worry so much if it rains 14 inches pretty much overnight again. Or 8 inches or 10 inches, or heaven forbid, come to find out, there's parts in Africa, in the rainforests of Africa, that can get as much as 35 inches in a day. That blew my mind. But yeah, there we go. All set up, all ready to go. If it happens to rain like that again, all I have to do is pull back this top layer and again, just draw water. I use the cup. I have a big old pile of dirty, well, not dirty, but a big old pile of the water that I drained out. And of course, as I was draining out the water, dirt came with it. And then this is a little bit of the shredded paper. And I can tell you that in a week or two, anything that's growing, any wild weeds or grass or marigolds or dandelions that are growing underneath here are going to grow magnificently beautiful. That's another thing I like about these tanks, is the ability to actually be able to physically get in there and drain the water. Physically drain the water without having to tear things apart too much. I mean, yes, you have to tear a big hole in the tank. But when you've got potted plants and it rains this much, or you've even got a garden that happens to sit in a low spot and it rains as much as it did, how are you going to bail water out of pots? How are you going to bail water out of a garden that's sunken down? I have definitely come to the decision that thanks to these tanks here and growing in the tanks last year and this year, I have decided that when we get to the farm, I will continue to grow certain plants in my fish tanks. One of them, I think, will be my tomatoes. I mean, my tomatoes, even with all that rain and sitting for, it's been a full day of me slowly draining the tank and the roots sitting in it, it hasn't caused any, I mean, it should be showing signs of damage after one day, and they're not. They're happy. They're very, very happy. I drained all that water and they're doing fine. And I can already tell that the tank is drying out. It's amazing. Alright, thanks for coming along on this adventure of craziness and maybe a little idea for how to keep your tank from flooding. Alright, everyone, we'll see you in the next one. And remember, no matter what happens, stay positive. Bye, guys.